Good afternoon, Rat Rod Bikes. This is Odd Job reporting from the back 40. We had a glorious night last night. We had about 50 neighbors and friends over, and we played a gig with our band Highwood. Highwood is the neighborhood we live in here in east side of St. Paul, Minnesota. And we were on the back patio back there. It's got kind of a nice amphitheater sound. The drums in the corner, kind of where the water hose is, and shoots out back out through the backyard and across the pond. We had folks listening from all around the pond, and just a fun night. So about 75 degrees and low humidity, which is highly unusual for our part of the country at this time of year. All right, on to the bike-related business. I did finish up my reconstruction of the back 40 back deck just this morning. And in case you missed the story earlier, I had built this from a fence that used to sit right next to our gazebo there, in line kind of with that tree, to block what junk we had back here by the garden shed and the shed itself and whatever. But when I put up my bike shed, my wife said, "Why don't you take that thing down? Nobody's going to be able to see your beautiful new shed." So I took it down and made a deck out of it. That was 7 years ago. It rotted through finally, just thin fence boards. So I repurposed this fence from 3 sections of the fence of my neighbors onto the new surface for the deck, and it's working great. And I double layered it this time, so hopefully it'll last, and I may even put a waterproof stain on here of some sort to preserve it. Anyway, what do you do when you're struggling with something that's very unfamiliar with you? That's been the case with my chain guard and my fiberglassing project. I'm not even going to show it. That's how embarrassed I am. I tried the fleece like they use in speaker enclosures. Tons of YouTubes, KJV for you especially. Tons of people use fleece for speaker enclosures in cars, custom curves and all of that, because it stretches and it can also retain the resin. That worked out okay, and it was I just didn't give it enough time to put a second coat on. Then I tried regular fiberglass cloth, and I was pretty much unsuccessful with that as well. So we're not going to even show that. What I am going to show you is some new ideas. First of all, I've got my seat disassembled here, and I am going to use that wood bleach, that oxalic acid bath out here on the back deck. I've got my plastic container sitting out there that I'll be using, and to soak all the parts that I want to be able to paint. So there's that. Secondly, I picked up the Schwinn racer. It was laying in the top of one of those soft-sided garbage dumpster bags that they set out, and then the big truck comes with a forklift and picks them up. Anyway, it was right down the street in my neighborhood, of all places. Actually, it was about half a block away from my new old friend Art Engstrom, co-founder of Park Schwinn, and it was purchased at his Hazel Park Schwinn location, White Bear Avenue and Highway 36. I just think that's so cool. So the guy lives 2 houses away from where this bike was found. Anyway, it's in fairly good shape for a bike from the 60s, I'm guessing. And I've already repurposed a couple things off of it. The end of this handlebar is bare because a good buddy, Big Graham, is now in possession of those near mint green sparkle grips that came off of the handlebars. Looking forward to seeing those on your ride there, Graham. And there's a 3-speed hub back here, I think, that I'll probably end up pulling out of that wheel and using at some point. The pedals are in good shape. Got a decent crank there with fairly long arms. And I got looking at these handlebars, and I really like that kind of mustachy go forward and then come back look. And I started thinking, that's really more of what I want to use on the 53 Shelby. So, these nice rounder cruiser newish looking bars are fine, but I want something that has that same forward and then back look of the tank, the front fork, and what my chain guard hopefully will eventually look like. So I'm going to pop these off the Schwinn and throw them on the Shelby. They're perfectly straight, and looking forward to that. So that's going to be my little project for today. Hope everything's good where you are, and happy first unofficial day of summer. This is Odd Job signing off. Right on.